Greetings, dear viewers. So today's going to be a little bit of a different video. I have been drinking some wine tonight, and I wanted to try playing Escape from Tarkov when I'm at about, legitimately, probably about a 7.5 on the drunk scale. And I still have wine that I'm drinking. So I wanted to try that out. I don't know really why, and I'm looking at my inventory. I haven't played in several days. So I don't know why I'm doing this, because obviously my inventory is not in a place where I can necessarily afford to yeah, I can't necessarily afford to be doing stuff like this. I would need to do some like serious runs and try and make some serious money if I wanted to catch back up, but that's not what's happening tonight. Tonight I am going to be trying this, so let's see what happens. I'm just gonna try and do my best to not make a fool of myself, and we're gonna see what happens. I seem to have a pretty good loadout, and we're going to interchange. So am I gonna go straight to the middle of the mall and attempt to fight Killa and everybody else going for Kibba? Or am I gonna just do a computer run and make some money? I'm not sure. Let's find out what happens, dear viewers. Let's skip past the loading screen with some editing magic and get right into the game. Oh, alright. Here we go. I noticed on the loading screen that I am sitting on a 60 round magazine here, which is pretty nice. So let's roll. Wow, this sound is like right up in my ears. Oh, why does this sound so loud? I mean, I know I'm wearing sword-ins and that's why it sounds so loud, but I'm kind of wondering if I have my volume for my headset turned up. Let me check. There's something I can check. Let me check that. I do. This probably shouldn't affect the video at all. You'll hear that window sound, but yeah, okay, this sounds normal. Yeah, I thought to myself, just because I'm drunk doesn't necessarily mean that I would be experiencing ear pain from what's normally not going to give me ear pain, which is normal running with sword-ins. Alright, there we go. Let's see, what are we doing here? We got us a nice sight. Oh, I'm kind of running a sort of a budget gun here with this AK-74 mic, and I realize it's got a 60 round magazine, and it's kind of strange to say that a budget gun is running a 60 round magazine, but there's a lot of stuff that I didn't add to it, which I would normally add to a weapon like this. Alright, let's see what I can do. I don't feel... Honestly, I am probably about like a 7.5 to 8.0 on the drunk scale right now, but I don't feel like my senses are necessarily inhibited here. In fact, I'm finding some very interesting new revelations as I do this. I'm finding that the normal levels of stress and anxiety that come with entering the mall aren't necessarily here. Alcohol does have the effect that it increases your courage, and I don't know, it's more of a interested sort of numb feeling. Alright, so I'm not drunk enough to leave those there. I know I need a 2-slotter to slot a magazine in and out. In fact, I'm actually feeling rather tactical right now. This is strange. Now, you folks have to realize I very rarely drink. Lately, I have discovered wine. Oh, dang it. Didn't mean to reload there. I should have instead pressed F instead of R. There we go. So there's a thing that just happened there. Though I think that has less to do with me... I think it has less to do with me being drunk and more to do with me playing a lot of Black Desert Online lately. Am I playing BDO? Yes, I am. I've been doing it in secret a little bit. X, what server are you on? I play on etc, etc. No, sorry, we're not doing that. I've actually quite enjoyed playing anonymously on Black Desert Online. Playing an MMO where nobody recognizes me. I haven't done that in a long time. So yeah, I don't intend to release the information about that anytime soon. But just know, if you're out there in Valencia, all you BDO players, and you get ganked. It might have been by X. I'm just kidding. I'm not in Valencia yet. I haven't been playing BDO for very long. Anyway, man, so many of you are like, what? What's this all about? Valencia? What? Sorry. Deepest of apologies. I think I should practice against some scabs first. It might be foolish to rush straight for the middle of the mall right now. This is weird for me. Because like I said, I very, very rarely drink. And now that I've been having wine a little bit more frequently for the past week and a half or so. Wine is super good, by the way. I'm experiencing a whole new world. One thing I've noticed that drinking has done for me whenever I drink at night is like the morning after, like the next day feels less stressful. It's not necessarily about the night of drinking, but it's about like the next day feeling less stressful. And for those of you who have been following my channel for a while or who follow my Twitch stream, you know that stress and anxiety are something that I struggle with. So it's actually kind of interesting to see what the effect of wine has had on me when I try and drink a glass or two a night. It's actually been kind of nice, but I also don't know the effects of having 1 or 2 glasses of wine a night does for my workouts, because I do attend the gym every single day. And I don't know if the alcohol and sugar content in the wine is setting me back. So I have a lot of considerations to make. So, no, we definitely want to approach from the upstairs route. Do note, dear viewers, that I'm not using a face visor for this recording. And it's not necessarily because I have noted that you folks do not like Killa's helmet with the very narrow viewport. And it's also not necessarily the fact that it's very difficult to create, well, it takes a long time with all the filters and stuff that I need to add to make a quality video using one of the scuffed up face shields on one of the more advanced helmets. It's because I just don't really have a whole lot to work with, but I hope on some small level, those of you who do watch my Tarkov vids will appreciate the fact that this time we're going in with no face visor whatsoever. I haven't heard any gunfire, and it's been a long time since I played Tarkov. It's been several days. It's been maybe like a week and a half or 2 weeks since I played Tarkov. But I do very well still know how interchange works. And having heard no gunfire at this point for this long is one of 2 things: a very good sign or a very bad sign. Oh, did you see that? I caught that silhouette. Very brief silhouette over there. Alright, that's just a normal scab right there. Let's see what I can do. Ooh, 2 shots. 2 shots, 1 kill. Yeah, I'm going loud and unsuppressed this time. Told you, budget gun. But also, actually I think this one might have a compensator to help increase my damage. Not 100% certain. What did I grab? Got me a Saiga 9. Put on the respirator. We'll take this cap too, because why not? He's just gonna have Saiga magazines in that rig. I'm not too concerned with that. That was just a normal scav, which means Killa probably isn't here. Alright, so for me to move down into this completely open area like this would be super iffy. I've got my meds hotkeyed. Gotta keep that in mind. So that was just 2 very loud rounds I put out. I know players like to rush toward that kind of thing. And I know scavs patrol these hallways. But can I actually make... Dang it. It's more BDO stuff right there. They use R in BDO, for those who don't know, as their interact button. And obviously, we use R to reload here in Tarkov. I like looking at that mannequin because it usually, well, sometimes it can have a Gen 4 mobility kit, which is awesome. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Oh yeah, that looks nice too. Okay. No space for an AK-74M. Well, I disagree. Can we fold this? Actually, we're just gonna toss that. I heard a scab just now too. Let's fold this and grab this. Oh my goodness, the R thing. The R thing is getting me. PSTG Z8 rounds. Not bad. Not the best, but not bad. We don't necessarily need a compensator. The stock is okay. Monster Claw is okay. Actually, a Monster Claw, I'm not sure I've seen. Yeah, we'll try that one. Sight is there. Keep moving. The MP5 is not where it usually is. That's interesting. Is this a suppressor? It is a suppressor. Nice. Oh, the AKM. We have a weapon here. What do we have? AKS-74N, which can be folded. Let's see what we can do. We can drink this, toss the beanie, move this up here. Actually, it's probably this up here. We don't need this bandage because the IFAK will take care of any bleeding. We don't need peas. Move this up. That can go here. We'll toss the Monster Claw because I don't know if necessarily that does a good job. All right. Look at me. Look at me sitting here at about an 8 on the drunk scale and still able to manage things here. I'm kind of starting to see how Celios does this. Just a little bit. I'm kind of just a little bit starting to see how Celios manages here. I've never really known how Celios and Zura both very, we'll say, enthusiastic connoisseurs of the alcoholic beverage, and they're still able to play these games. Never really quite known how they do it, because I've always thought to myself, I really can't play a game like this while drunk. But I two-shot that scav, and I'm able to manage my loot pretty well here. I also feel somewhat alert in this regard. Okay, so now it's time to check my extraction, because I do actually have a decent number of stuff. We got Southeast Exfil, so we'll have to move through Goshan. Let me check the grenade box, though, just to be sure. See, this is a little iffy, because now when I reload, I'm going to toss this 30-round magazine. It's good they have a 30-rounder in there instead of the 60-rounder, so I think this is okay. I think I'll use the 30 rounds and then end up tossing it, because I want to keep these. It should be fine. Oh, I almost just actually fired off a shot. My mouse hit my desk. Alright, let's move. I could check Mantis right there for more goodies. I feel like Tarkov has been forgiving on this one run, knowing that I have been enjoying my wine tonight. It didn't put a lot of scabs in my way. Killa didn't spawn. Seems to be moving down the escalator. That scav is. The one on my left is not an issue because he moved down the escalator. The one on the right could be a problem. Yeah, Swordens are a great choice if you're playing under the influence. I don't want to fire on that guy just yet. I'm not suppressed. Tashanka, no space for Tashanka. Can I rid myself of anything here for Tashanka? I don't think so. Tashanka sells well, but Not necessarily more than any of the stuff I've got here. Could toss a flashbang. I've got a lot of flashbangs. The flashbang is worth 2,000. The Tachanka is worth 8,000. I should have tossed away a flashbang, but you know what? When you're dealing with millions upon millions of rubles, you don't necessarily need to take all of that into consideration. Okay, I don't necessarily need loot. And I feel like if I had to get into a very hectic firefight, I wouldn't necessarily want to. But we're gonna try this anyway. One down. Got a flashlight on his gun. I might want to go get that flashlight. Oh, I can't very easily take that. Search his pockets. Maybe he's got a key card. Nope. That's fine. We can go. Can't easily take that flashlight off. And that wouldn't change even if I was 100% sober. I think I've made the right decision to get on the move here. Okay. Making our way to southeast. Interesting. I'm making some very, like, first-time observations here. In the past, I have tried to play video games drunk and found it to be not an exercise in having fun. I tried playing StarCraft 2 while drunk. Maybe that's not the best game to try, where multitasking is absolutely a must. But in Tarkov, while multitasking is a factor, things like attention to detail and playing methodically are equally important. That's a player down there. Is he camping extraction? Or is he just trying to leave? Okay, we can... Okay, Tarkov pays so much attention to detail. We can see the light flashing from his muzzle flash. And then we can hear the sound after that. Speed of light is greater than the speed of sound, which is why that's happening. But he's right by extraction right now. And I feel like he might be camping extraction. And I hear Scav's footsteps right over here. The Scav has noticed the other player in that direction. So here's the thing, dear viewers. I know a lot of you would love to see me get into a PvP fight in the state that I'm in. But I know many of you also know me as a thinking and methodical player. Somebody who applies strategy and tactics, knowing that I have a disadvantage against somebody who is sober. It's probably best that I make a different play. So here's what happened. I saw somebody right by extraction, opening fire, probably taking out another player trying to leave. I realized that I'm at a disadvantage. And so I'm going to make a smart play, and I'm going to turn around and maybe go to southeast, to power station. I realize I don't have the 3,000 rubles that I need to extract right now, but there's a chance that I'll get that 3,000 rubles in the jackets in the power station, and maybe out of the pockets of scabs and such. I'm giving myself options here. And that guy is still firing. I can still hear him. I'm not sure if you guys can, but I can still hear him firing. Oh, we got like a good amount of grenades here. We're gonna toss one of these Zaryas for this. That's good. I don't think this actually sells for a whole lot. So we're gonna toss that and move these over here so I know I have a reload thing. So there's definitely somebody camping extraction there. That puts me at another disadvantage. The fact that he's got a hold up and defensive position and I have to approach him to fight. He can probably see me coming from most angles before I get a shot on him. So it's best for me to not mess with the extraction camper right now. When I fight in any video game, I like to have every advantage, every single advantage possible. And right now I know I'm somewhat at a deficit of advantages. We're making the smart play here. And I want you all to think about that very carefully. Like, put yourself in my shoes. I'm a content creator. I'm a YouTuber. Views and action and being as entertaining as possible are factors that play out in my mind. They're things I do need to consider. And it's things that every YouTuber and Twitch streamer considers. Being as entertaining as possible. So, going for a play like that, like trying to kill the extraction camper while drunk, would be exactly the kind of thing you would want to record. So I kind of want a little bit of credit here for making the smarter, more strategic play. I just hope you folks notice that. I did see flashlights. Okay, there's a flashlight going up the ramp. So there's an AI scav moving up the ramp over there, which means there are spawns here. There are baddies over here at the power station. It's possible that the car for extraction. Ugh. Gotta patch up my wound, and then I have got to take painkillers to make sure I can keep running. There are multiple scavs out here. We're gonna take my syringe, and in its place, stash the flashlight. The syringe will heal me over time. We know that most of my body is red, but thanks to the painkillers, I can move freely, and thanks to the syringe, I'll heal up as I continue to survey the situation. So let's keep myself on alert here. I hear you. One scav down. Let's change positions because they know where I am. That scav was floating. Got a shotgun. Got my 60 rounder in here now. Let's put a flashbang out there. Need to change positions again. I believe there's only one scav left here. Is he inside the building? He's yelling. Whew. We have the 60 rounder in here. No need to reload at the moment. Check his pockets for money. Sure, Zara is fine. Now, there was one guy floating. I think that was the guy. I'm not sure. Oh, forgive me for this one, dear viewers. While my combat prowess seems to have been only somewhat hindered, if at all, my ability to recall exactly where I downed scavs seems slightly less than sharp. There's going to be one scav that I think I can't loot because I just don't remember where he was. So forgive me for that one. I'm going to let it stay that way while I move into the power station. Oh, wait, is this him? Not bad. We've got a hunter there, which is good. Oh, 10,000 rubles. There's my way out. Okay, I'm not going to spend time searching the power station now. Ah, pop these painkillers. I'm just going to... Oh no, there is no way out. I can't pay my way out of here. Southeast exfil is my only extraction point. Power station is not available. I have to go. I have no choice but to go through the extraction camper. Who may have heard the gunfire over here and already be moving in this direction, but I doubt it. And I've only got 2 painkillers left. I'm on 1 right now. I've got 2 painkillers after the effect of this one wears off. I could loot more. He's still firing over there. He's still trying. I still hear him. Dang it. So, you may be thinking to yourselves, oh man, this is going to be so good. X has no choice but to go through the extraction camper. Well, that's not true, dear viewers. Don't forget, Escape from Tarkov is all about survival. It's not a kill everybody every time game. It's not deathmatch. It's really not. I have other options. And as the experienced Tarkov player that I am, I know one of my options is to hide out in a bush somewhere, or somewhere nice and behind cover and such, and wait for the extraction camper to get his fill of kills, and then extract. I can just sit and wait somewhere, especially considering I drank some drink earlier, which helps my hydration. I can sit and wait. I don't have to expend these painkillers, and I can let the extraction camper just have his fun, get his loot, and then go. I don't have to approach him. I'm almost certain I will lose a fight against somebody who is waiting for people to move toward him. It's just not a good position to move into. I would never, if I were like a general or a commander in a real world situation, I would never order troops. I would never order anybody into a position where I know the enemy had such an entrenched advantage. So I'm certainly not going to push myself into that kind of thing. Of course, again, a lot of YouTubers and content creators, and even just normal players, would themselves go for that because it's fun, it's exciting, it's a rush. But I won't be doing that. I got into Kibba, I got several scav kills. I got into Kibba, I got several scav kills. There he is. He's still there. That guy, I've never seen such a career level extraction camper before. Who's he firing at so often? Can there really be that many players moving toward extraction, toward southeast? And is he really getting that much action? I mean, he has to be, because he keeps firing. He's been firing this entire time. Well, we're gonna let him have his fun. My leg is zeroed out. Which means I can't actually sneak very well. For those who don't know, if you have a zeroed out leg, no matter how slowly you move or how low crouched you get, you're always going to make a ton of noise. I'm going to get back here. And I am legit just going to sit and wait. My painkiller just ran out. I'm just going to sit and wait right here, dear viewers. I've got this wall right here. I can watch this approach. And if I hear anybody coming from this side, I can turn and get this approach. I'm pretty safe here. I'm going to sit right here. We're currently at 30 minutes remaining in the raid. I'm going to sit right here for maybe 25 minutes and let that extraction camper get bored and make him think that the raid is basically done, nobody's left. He'll leave, and then I might be able to go pick up a little bit of whatever he's left behind and then extract myself. Keep in mind that these are definitely legitimate options that you can employ in Tarkov, and don't think that I'm only saying this because I am at an 8 or so on the drunk scale. Don't think that I'm only saying this because of that. No. I may be drunk, but that doesn't necessarily mean my wisdom is curbed. Just perhaps my decision making and such like that. Yeah, that's how being drunk goes. But I would make this play sober. Well, no, actually sober, I might be a little bit more confident in my ability to take out another player. But I do have a budget gun. My stash is low. I've got some pretty decent Kibba loot already. There he goes again. What's he doing? How many players are actually approaching that extraction? This sounds so strange. And how many players are actually there? Is it him and a partner? Wow. But yeah. Again, because I know that I'm at a disadvantage, I'm going to make this play right here. So let's just see how this plays out, dear viewers. I'm going to go ahead and try and wait here until the last minutes of the raid to make sure I get out with what I've looted. Okay, I can hear a scav wandering around me. It's been 5 minutes since I said we were going to sit here and wait for a while. And the extraction camper is still over there. Nobody has put a stop to him. Thing is, I haven't heard a single shot. I haven't heard a single shot of return fire from anybody fighting back. This is just a very strange situation.
How's it going?
This tiny piece of plastic has more computing power in it than most high-end laptops. I have half a mind to reverse engineer it for Palmer Tech.
First?
Yes, I found a tiny flaw in the OS code, and I'm pretty sure I can exploit it to open a backdoor into his main computer system.
Right, but wouldn't that risk exposing us?
My pride that you understood what I was saying is slightly undercut by your lack of faith in me.
Well. Whoever you are, let me just say I am very impressed. Never been able to break through my encryption before. Bravo.
Disguised voice.
Thanks.
I would think that was compliment if it wasn't coming from some nut job who's trying to destroy the internet. Why would I want to take down the net? Not only is it where I work, I'm addicted to funny cat videos.
Well, if you're not trying to take down the internet, what do you need a web nuke for?
Very clever, keeping me talking to buy you time to breach my firewall.
Well, there's about 10 minutes left to go in the raid, and apparently the extraction camper hasn't moved. I'm almost thinking that it's a bot, because I only hear the extraction camper fire when the scav that walks by these ISO containers heads out in the extraction camper's direction. I think someone wrote an extraction camping bot. Is that crazy? I don't know. I mean, it sounds crazy. That would be a really silly thing to do. But I've only heard the extraction camper fire when the AI scav that patrols this area moves in that direction. So, I mean, what else am I supposed to think, right? And we're sitting here with less than 10 minutes to go in the raid, as we can see in the top right of the screen. Who would stick around this long? Who would stay there that long? any players that they would have taken out by this point would have provided them with far more than enough loot to make it worth their time to just leave and extract. This is very peculiar. What's worse is that if it is some sort of extraction camping bot that someone's written, it's probably using an aimbot, which is why it runs a 60-round magazine so that it can just zero in, insta-lock onto a target, and then just continue to unload that 60-round magazine until the target that it had acquired has dropped loot, right? But then they have, see, there it goes. It seems to, they seem to fire the exact number of rounds. Like, it seems to fire for like the exact same amount of bursts each time. I may have run into a very interesting situation. Yeah, it's almost the exact number of rounds each and every time. This is... I've only got 8 minutes to go. Like, I only have the luxury of waiting around like 4 more minutes. And I think their bot is gonna stay until like the very last second. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. This doesn't make sense. Nobody would write an extraction camping bot. I mean, maybe someone would, but the odds of me on the night that I get drunk to play Tarkov running into somebody's one-of-a-kind extraction camping bot are so astronomical that I'm not 100% willing to believe that this is actually the case. It's got to be someone here. It's got to be a human player, at least somebody, if there is some sort of a script that they're running to extraction camp, which is a new level of low, by the way, there's got to be at least somebody at the keyboard to monitor it or work in the background to loot and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm going way off the rails here and overthinking this. Maybe it's just somebody who is so career focused on extraction camping that they will stay until 7 minutes left in the raid. Camping extraction. No, they're definitely... Okay, well, I think by this point, we can 100% say that someone is camping extraction. There's no doubt that that is the case. But as to whether or not it's some sort of a script that does it, that fires the exact amount of rounds every single time in its bursts, is up for grabs. I really don't know. This is so awkward. This is so awkward. I can't even wrap my head around this right now. Really? Is there going to be another burst? Yes! Similar to that one. Again. Something is happening. Maybe this is just some sort of a glitch now. Something is happening. Either way, I'm going to have to get moving in the next 3 to 4 minutes. I've heard this extraction camper fire seriously about... I'm going to say like 12 to 15 times. And there can't be that many players or scavs extracting at Southeast Exfil. There just can't be. He's taking out AI scavs. I don't know. This is awkward. But I feel like in order to give myself the best chance to get out, I need to wait until like the 3-minute or the 2-minute mark before I head out. It's entirely possible. Okay, I know this sounds weird, but it's entirely possible that someone wrote an extraction camping bot that will not extract, that is just around to ruin other players' day, and it will sit there until 0:00:00. There's on the timer. It's possible that someone did that. How likely that actually is so astronomically low that as a Texas Hold'em player, I am not going to bet on that actually being the case. So I just never would. You would never get me to put money on that. But the odds and the evidence in front of me are telling me that this is quite possibly maybe what has happened here. All right, I don't know what to make of this at all. I'm going to have to fight a PMC at the end over here at Extraction. Either fight, outsmart, or avoid. I don't know. But we're approaching the 4-minute mark, and if I give myself like 2 minutes left, it's not going to be enough time to negotiate a potential fight. If I give myself 4 minutes left, maybe. He's going to be there the entire time. All right, maybe I'll let it get to 2 minutes, and then I'll make my move. I do only have one painkiller left because I accidentally used one earlier in between editing. I accidentally used one earlier in between editing while I was trying to heal up completely using my eye pack. So maybe I'll give it 2 minutes and we'll see what happens, because the fight's going to break out and it's going to be over in a short amount of time either way. So we'll see what happens, man. I need some time to collect myself. Okay, dear viewers. Oh my goodness, he's still there. This can't be real. This can't be right. We still have scavs over here. He must be it must be a bot. It must be, because there's one scav that's still alive, like way off in the distance. Over here. Do you hear that scav yelling? The bot must be seeing that. The bot must be seeing that and targeting the AI scav, which is why we keep hearing that firing. It's incessant, it's systematic, it's the same amount of rounds each time. It is computerized. There's no player that would behave that consistently. So it must be some sort of bot that scans the horizon or scans the area and targets enemies or anything and then just opens fire. It's over there. It has to be. It almost has that almost has to be the case. Or it's some sort of glitch. No, because the AI scavs wouldn't react to a glitch. And we hear them yelling. But okay. My question is, if this is some kind of a script, is it programmed to scan behind the tents? Is that you? Do you have a partner? Player by the name of Mission? A player by the name of Mission. I have 20 seconds. Let's go. I'm not gonna loot his bags. I would love to see what's in his bags, but I have 20 seconds. Was that the... Okay, now I'm extracting. What has happened here? I actually managed to extract. That could not have been... That had to have been some sort of a script. Did you see the loot that was on him? Some blue Untar vest, an AKS-74U. Like, what was happening there? That was definitely a PMC. What was going on? I'm confused. I don't know. We got down to the very last seconds of this raid. The raid time was 58 minutes and 15 seconds. We got down to the very last seconds of this raid and were forced to confront a PMC who was very clearly camping extraction. And we came up with a level 32 bear named Mission, who was there that entire time, targeting what appeared to be an AI scav that was on patrol. And I guess because he was using an AK or an AK-74U, I don't know. I guess because that weapon's not that accurate at that range, this particular script wasn't able to eliminate its target, which is why we kept hearing gunfire. I don't know what to make of this. Could this possibly have been just a player, just a PMC, who was waiting around to literally the very last second? Or is it more likely that someone is testing out a script or a bot? You know? I think it's more likely, because I don't think anybody has the patience to sit around camping extraction until the last second of a raid. I don't think it's likely that somebody is going to sit around and do that and open fire so many times to give themselves away with an unsuppressed weapon. I don't think anybody is going to do that. I think it's more likely, somewhat more likely, that someone is writing a script and this was a test run for their script. I don't know. I really don't know. Either way, I find it extremely interesting, which is super fun. I'm tempted to add this player and ask them what was going on. Okay, dear viewers, I actually did end up adding this player because I had to know what was going on. And here's the chat that ensued after I added this player. I said, "Hey there," and they're like, "Sup?" And I'm like, "Were you really extraction camping by Southeast in Interchange that whole time?" And he says he was mag dumping. Ah, that starts to make much more sense than the crazy theory that I came up with that someone wrote a script to extraction camp. I mean, you never know. In my defense, you never know. I know there's all kinds of cheaters out there in Escape from Tarkov, and often these cheats are sold for real world money, and in an effort to make perhaps more money, maybe someone wrote a different new kind of script for extraction camping. You never know. That could have been a thing, but it turns out that's not a thing. Like at all. So it turns out this player was mag dumping. I was like, oh, what? Like for skill points? And he's like, yeah, kind of boring, but my skills are shit now, so maybe in a few raids they will be less shit. And I was like, oh, okay. So what skill exactly will that level up? And I asked, were you trying to get faster bullet loading like in the magazines? Because for those who don't know, those of you who play Escape from Tarkov, or maybe who don't, if your magazine is empty, you can load bullets into it in raid, and the more you do it, the faster you get at it. So I thought maybe he was just trying to get better at that. And his answer is recoil on the dumping and mag drill on loading them. So that's two different skills he's trying to work with. He's working on his recoil skill, so while he's firing, he's getting better at actually controlling his gun. Good move. And of course, being faster at loading the bullets into the magazines is another thing that you get from being able to do that. So that makes sense. He goes assault rifles from reloading the mag into the gun. So he also gains skill on his assault rifle skill. So he's leveling multiple skills by doing this, and memory from just leveling the skills, period. So he's leveling like 4 skills that we've heard about here: recoil, magazine drill, assault rifles, and memory. 4 different skills that he's leveling off of just doing that, off of just sitting by extraction and just dumping tons of bullets from his guns and constantly reloading his magazines and reloading those into the guns. He's getting like 4 different skills leveled. So I said, so you were working on 2 skills. Of course, it was like 4, as we know, as you know, this is me talking during the conversation, but yeah, we know it was multiple skills. And I go, gotcha. And I go, that's awesome. Dude, I made a video about this. I will definitely include this chat so everybody knows you're legit, but I totally suspected a bot. See, so this is a way to clear Mission's name here, because I realized I put his name out there with his dog tag while I was talking earlier. Turns out he's not a cheater. He's the exact opposite. He's someone who's actually spending the time to work on his skills in the game. So yeah, totally legit player, which is good stuff. And here's the rest of the chat. I'm just gonna go ahead and scroll through it. You guys can read that if you want. You can pause and read each individual line. I'm not gonna go through the entire thing, but yeah, that's pretty interesting, to say the least. This was a super fun and interesting raid. This is my very first time recording a video drunk in my entire history of playing YouTube, of doing videos for YouTube. So this is pretty cool. So let me know if you folks actually could tell whether or not I was drunk. Maybe there are a few things that you could tell, but leave it in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this kind of thing. Obviously, I don't intend to do this sort of video very often because I don't really drink all that often, and it's not something I want to put out there like, hey guys, drink and have fun. No, that's not my way of thinking. That's not how I do things. I might have a glass of wine every now and then, just to relax or whatever, or with a drinking buddy of mine. But yeah, most of the time I don't do that sort of thing. But anyway, yeah, this was fun. I had a great time with this, and I went ahead and scrolled through the entirety of the chat at this point, and I hope you folks enjoyed this. I certainly enjoyed this raid. It was a lot of fun for me. Great way to spend an hour, maybe an hour and a half or so of my evening. So yeah, that is going to do it for this particular video. I hope you folks enjoyed it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you folks next time.